I don't have any problem with God having emotions.
Can you not see?
Yeah, I don't see.
Why would you have a problem with that?
These are human weaknesses.
No, you perceive them as weakness.
How can jealousy not be a weakness?
Because if it's warranted, if you have a righteous reason for being jealous, it's warranted.
You're trying to make out that there are some examples of anger that are good and
yes,
healthy.
Evidently, yes.
Some.
Like finding your wife is cheating on you and being angry about it is a righteous anger. Yes.
No.
You don't think it's righteous?
Good. Jealousy? How can jealousy be righteous? Right.
Jealousy can be righteous because if the one...
I'd almost more understand the anger thing, but jealousy, how could jealousy ever be
Imagine
righteous?
if you were the one who was morally perfect and the author of all things, including your own creation. Would that not mean that in terms of your jealousy, you would not want people worshipping false gods? And would you not be justified in that?
I would not give a damn, because if I'd done it all, I'd know I'd done it all. So why would I give a shit about someone else coming along saying, no, you didn't do it, my little god over here did it.
Well,
if I knew I was right, why would I be jealous?
Well, no, it's the same.
Laugh at them.
It's the same thing as if you had a son.
This is the pettiness of religion, it really is.
No, I don't think so.
You honestly think your god could be jealous of someone saying that something else is a god?
Because all
surely
worship...
your god would know that that isn't a god.
He does indeed. He is jealous because he loves us enough that he wants us to worship him, because he is the right one to worship.
Arrogance.
He can't be arrogant. He is what he is.
Wanting to be worshipped.
He is love. He can't be arrogant if he is the very thing himself.
And I've always said this, I'm an atheist.
I don't know.
God either doesn't exist or he's an arrogant, vile individual.
No, I disagree.
It's the case. You just kind of defined it.
No, I said there is a righteous distinction, and you haven't made that distinction.
Does your God get angry because I don't worship him?
He wishes that you would, yeah.
And he's angry about that?
Well, yeah, in a sense, yeah. And it's a righteous anger.
Jealous because I don't.
Yes, because he is worthy of worship, and he wishes that you would worship him.
Hitler said things like that. Stalin said things like that.
What, about God or about
themselves?
themselves? I'm not talking about humans. If you told me Hitler or Stalin...
Even worse. Even worse. Okay. It's not a human.
Why? Why is that worse? Surely from your point of view...
Because it's the ultimate totalitarian dictator who demands to be worshipped, and if you don't, he will burn you forever.
But you're
that is the absolute evil.
But from your perspective, God doesn't exist.
You're worshipping, to me, what is the epitome of evil?
No. I think that's completely wrong. God by definition. I understand your point of view, but what I'm saying is God by definition is the greatest moral being.
My father is my father. Biologically, that will always be the case.
Yes. Would you be upset if
he happened to be a paedophile or a rapist or whatever else, he would not deserve my respect.
Right, that's true,
The fact that he's my father, in itself, does not demand respect. So therefore, the fact that you believe your God is the creator, in itself, does not command respect. In my moral view. Because for the same reason my father doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, but your father's a contingent being. You're talking about the uncaused being.
Your God disappears when you disappear, and all your fellow...
Because it's a creation of my mind, is that what you're saying? Okay, well, I don't think that's true. And I think there's very good reasons to believe that's not true.
Islam will die out when all Muslims die out, like Buddhism will die out when all Buddhists die out.
Well, atheism die out when atheists die out.
Well, no, because atheism is just a lack of something.
No, it's the affirmation of the belief there is no God. No, you're talking about agnosticism.
Am I an aphilatophyte? Am I an aphilatelist because I don't collect stamps? No, I'm not.
That's a terrible analogy. You're agnostic to it.
You could say there's a dichotomy. You collect stamps or you don't collect stamps.
What if you affirm the belief that you shouldn't collect stamps? What if you affirm the belief you shouldn't?
In the future, all religion will die out.
No, I'm not saying that. I said it. I wish it would.
I don't think
I'm perplexed that it hasn't already.
Yeah.
In fact, new ones are still being created, aren't they? Amazing. Absolutely amazing. That is the biggest mystery to me, why these medieval nonsenses still exist in the 21st century.
Medieval?
Well, that's where they came from a long time ago.
Even the Christians, like, most of the morals of
the Christians.
I think I would agree with Christians on this one. Most of the morals of society come from religion. Like even the UK, most of morals of society, of how we behave with each other, come from Christianity.
Christianity hasn't always been on this land. It came here from the Middle East. You're really saying there was no morality on this island?
No, there was morality.
I mean, not like today.
Yeah, there was also a lot of bad things as well that were caused by people.
Things today.
Yeah, of course, but there is an improvement, right? Do you think that today's morality?
Not because of Christianity.
You don't think so? Some Christians.
Because the Industrial Revolution.
So you're saying
How did the Industrial Revolution bring about higher morality?
Sorry?
How did the Industrial Revolution bring about a change in morality?
No, because we're measuring. I'm not just measuring. I'm measuring success on multiple fronts.
Okay, sure.
Economically, socially.
Yeah.
How long we live.
Which can be traced back to Judeo-Christian values. The very idea that human beings have value
China is
comes
now
from.
the new superpower on this world.
Yes.
Aren't they?
Well, you can say that.
They're not
in one
coming
way.
from Christianity, are
Their Christianity is growing in China.
they? Yes, but you cannot. Please don't try and claim the fact
No, I'm not
that
gonna
China
claim.
is becoming a
But-
superpower has got anything to do with Christianity.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
So therefore,
What-
there's a hugely successful superpower who's not got there because of Christianity.
Well, how long China lasts is another question in terms of the CCP. Yeah.
China doesn't have
It's
the
been
same
there for a long
morals.
time. It's been there for. Yeah, they've got different morals. Japan's got different morals. Let's not be Anglo-centric.
China-
Let's not be
China-
Anglo-centric and say that only our
China
morality.
is doing they're doing a genocide right
I
now.
know. You never hear about it, do you?
Exactly.
We don't often hear about
So,
it. All we hear
how is
about
China
here
moral?
all we hear about here is Palestine. No one talks about the Uyghurs. No one talks about China.
I would say China is not moral.
Yeah, evidently.
moral.
In terms of its government,
Yeah.
its government, yeah. There are plenty of good Chinese people, but the government is corrupt.
Yeah, the government.
If only they would turn to Christ and understand that there are better ways of living. Would you not at least agree from a practical point of view?
I am still going back to what the conversation was earlier. I'm
Sure.
still gobsmacked that these all-powerful gods, Allahs, have all these human emotions of anger and
There's
jealousy.
only one.
Right, it's different language, isn't it? It's same God, different languages.
I don't have any problem with gods having emotions.
Can you not see?
Yeah, I don't see.
Why
it.
would you have a problem with that?
These are human weaknesses.
No, you perceive them as weakness.
How can jealousy not be a weakness?
Because
How
if
can
it's
anger
warranted,
not be a
if you have a
weakness?
righteous reason for being jealous, it's warranted.
You're trying to make out that there are some examples of anger that are good and
Yes,
healthy.
evidently, yes.
Some.
Like
Surely
finding your
you-
wife is
but-
cheating on
but-
you and being angry about it is a righteous anger. Yes.
No.
You don't think it's
never
righteous?
good. Ask a doctor. Ask your GP next time you see
That's
him. Say,
one
is
aspect
it
of
healthy
it.
for me to be
I'm
angry?
talking about morality, not in terms of health. Yeah.
Well, health
Being-
is pretty-
being happy all the time
if
probably
you
has
haven't got
negatives to
your health,
it.
you're not here.
That's true, but that doesn't mean that you can't equate that with morality. Yeah.
Well, if aspects of your morality result in ill health, I don't want those aspects of morality.
Sadness results in ill health. I agree.
does, yes,
but
it
there are
does.
appropriate times to
Have
be
you not
sad.
heard of depression?
Yes, I'm not talking about depression. I'm talking about just
Well,
general
sadness
sadness.
is on one
But is it
end of the spectrum
appropriate?
of
Is it
depression.
warranted and appropriate to be sad at times?
It's
So, for
something that
example,
we should
someone
all
you
try
love.
and avoid and be
Right,
positive,
right.
positive thinking.
But there
to
are
avoid.
times when it's warranted. Yes.
Not warranted, no.
You don't think so?
Maybe there are times when it's always going to happen, but it's not. It's not something we should be espousing and hunting out for.
I'm not saying you should aim for sadness. What I'm saying is that when sadness occurs, it is often as a natural result to something bad. Yes, like loss.
Does it help though?
I'm not saying it helps.
So
I've never said
bereavement is quite a strong example of sadness. Do we try and help people through bereavement, or do we try and keep them dwelling in their bereavement?
We help them
try and
through
keep
it.
them out?
But to not acknowledge the sadness is in effect to not acknowledge the truth.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not an aspect of reality, but it's not positive. It's not healthy.
But you keep
it's not
equating.
righteous.
No.
To use the word that you
No.
use.
You're equating outcome with the actual stance of something. Do you understand? That's fallacious. All I'm talking about is, can you have such a thing as righteous anger? I'm not saying what flows from that, because what flows from that is different from the actual
I've
state.
never heard that phrase before you muttered it today.
Okay. Well,
but it strikes me as an odd concept.
Sure. I think we should leave it at that. I think
What
we.
purpose does it serve?
Well, righteous anger, acknowledging the truth, because there are things to be righteously angry about. If someone cheats, if your wife cheats on you, you have a righteous anger because you know it's wrong.
And how long can that anger last for it to continue as righteous?
I don't know. I don't think I have to give an anger.
I hope it has a time limit.
Well, it depends what flows from it. Because I do believe in being stoic. I do believe in that you have these emotions and you control these emotions. But to say that you should never have the emotions, I think is just a complete extreme view. To have the emotions is a understanding and acknowledgement of something that is true, whether that's a moral truth or a factual truth, in terms of an observable truth, like a natural truth. Okay, that's my view. Anyway, take care.
Wrap up!
Wrap up. All right, I had a quick conversation with Steve.
Steve-O!
Steve-O. Yeah. Always good to talk to Steve. He was talking about how God cannot have in any situation anything like emotions. And I was pointing out how there are some emotions that are warranted, especially from an almighty, all-loving God. God is fully righteous, he is fully above all of his creation, and he is worthy of worship. Righteous anger is a logical extension from that. Righteous jealousy is a logical extension from that. It is not logical for humans because we are not the almighty creator, we are limited. God is not limited. This is why God can have emotions. God bless and have a good day.